Hi Jamie, so this is the reformer. So how I will do it, I will explain the exercise to you and then I'll demo it and then I'll get you on and we'll talk through everything, okay? So the first exercise we're going to do, the first two exercises we're going to do is from the front rowing series. One is called the offering and one is called the salute. So these are both really good exercises for our shoulders and our scapular stability. So the offering is really good for the front of our shoulder, our front deltoid, and this is just going to be so good for any overhead contest that you do in AFL. We've already talked about the strength in the shoulders is so important on the field as well, and the salute, you have some tricep work in there as well, so it's just upper limb strength, which is exactly what you need in AFL.
Yeah.
So I'll demonstrate both of these and then I'll get you on the reformer.
Okay.
Okay. So we are going to go on a blue and a yellow spring for this, and we're going to come into a low kneel. So I reformer is a little bit tricky. I will help you with the straps. This is the offering. And then I'll move into the salute. Okay, so I'll get you to take a low kneel, maybe just hold on to the foot rest there. Lovely. So I'll pass you the straps. This is a little bit tough, and we're going to go in our short loops here, and we're just going to have a nice neutral wrist. Perfect. Just a little bit of our alignment. Our hips are stacked under our ribs. Beautiful. We've got a nice long spine, back of the neck is long, crown of the head is reaching, and we've just got that beach under our chin. Beautiful. Nice and open between collarbones, and space between our shoulders and ears. Beautiful. From here, the movement is going to be, from our arms, we've got a bend in our arms at 90 and they're at our waist. All we're going to do is inhale into the prayer, we exhale, we straighten the arms up, we open the arms, close, and then bend back. Beautiful. Lovely. Let's do that again. We push out, we open, we close, and we return to our waist. Beautiful. Making sure we breathe in, we exhale as we come up. Beautiful. Keeping that nice length through the spine, ribs are over our hips. Beautiful. Nice, Jamie. Keeping this, it's all coming from our shoulders, but we want to keep them as relaxed as we can. Beautiful. Imagine we've got those two plates on our hands and we're offering them up to somebody. Beautiful. We'll do one more here. That's lovely. Got nice, lovely alignment. From here, we're going to hinge from our hips forwards, keeping that length through our spine and neck. That's great. We've got the lovely. Looking down at the springs. From here, we're going to bring our arms up and interlock make a diamond with our hands. Perfect. On our forehead. And all the movement from here is just to push up and out, straightening those arms, and then to return. We exhale to push out. We inhale to bring back. Beautiful. This is really getting the triceps. You will feel them switch on straight away. Beautiful. We've got a nice hinge here. We've got length through the back of your neck. Still trying to keep the space between the ears and the shoulders. Beautiful. That's a lot better. Well done. Lovely work. Let's do two more. Lovely neutral spine here. Lovely. Great job, Jamie. How did that feel?
Nice and juicy on the shoulders.
Beautiful. Exactly what we want. I'm just going to take these straps off so they don't make too much noise in our next exercise. Alright. So we are going to move into a single leg series called tabletop for this next exercise. This is going to target our lower body, our lower limbs, so it's definitely going to get our quads. We're going to go on our toes, so it will get our calves a little bit too, but we've already talked about having those big muscle groups working and strengthening for your AFL training, all that running that you're going to be doing. So that's I will put our springs on now. We're going to go to red, and I'll just demo this, and then we'll get you on. Sit down, and then just sit down first, and then I'll get your head on the headrest. Perfect. And then just pop those feet on there. We're going to put our toes on. Beautiful. Now, my reformer, you are a little bit squished. We're going to use our over your hips, but my reformer, we tried the foot bar down, and it wasn't quite right for you, so this is probably the better position.
This feels better.
Perfect. So we'll just have a little look at our alignment here, our space between our ears and our shoulders. Our neck is looking lovely and long, and you don't need that headrest up. And the crown of your head is reaching over to the windows. Melting the ribs into the reformer, and we've still got that little small gap in that lower back, and engaging that core. From here, the movement is going, I'll just bring attention to the toes and foot. So imagine that you've got some stilettos on right now, and you push those heels really high, and then we drop them under the foot bar really low. We're going to come to a middle ground there, and that's the position that I would like your stable foot to stay in. So we'll keep your left foot on the foot bar. We'll float our right leg up into tabletop. We'll inhale to prepare. We push through the toes, pushing the carriage out, and then return with control. Beautiful. Your core is engaged to keep that leg in tabletop. This is a really good exercise as well because you do a lot of single leg work in the AFL field, kicking, so it's really working the right muscles that we want to be focusing on here. Beautiful. Finding your tempo. You exhale to push out, inhale to come back in. Beautiful. Still having that little small gap in our lower back, keeping that lovely neutral spine, and ribs are soft and melting. That's lovely. You're doing a really, really good job here, Jamie. Is your quads starting to warm up here, and your calves. Beautiful, that's what we want. Lovely. Great breathing. Neck is lovely and long. We might do one more, and then we'll leave it there. Beautiful. Great job, Jamie. All right. We're going to go into a mid-back series now. It's called arm circles. And this is focusing on the shoulders again. And we've done a lot of shoulder work as part of your goals today. But it is very important, as we said. It's also strong shoulders, just going to minimise the risk of any injury that we'll have on the field. So we're actually going to do a red and yellow with this spring. And I might just need your help, James, to just pass me those long legs, if that's all right. I'm going to just demonstrate that. Thank you. All right. So our hands are going to go through the short loops. And I'm going to bring my feet to the floor. This is the starting position, and this is arm circles mid-back series. All right. Okay. So come onto the floor, take a seat, and head on the headrest. Beautiful. All right. down to our hips. Beautiful. Leg into tabletop. From here, we're going to let our arms, I'll just make sure your knees are over your hips, shins parallel to the ceiling. Nice length through the neck. Small space in that lower back. Perfect. Let the ribs relax into that carriage. Inhale to prepare. We're going to let the arms float to the ceiling. And then we come out to the side, making 2 circles with our arms. We return and we do the same. You can imagine the size of 2 beach balls here. Really getting the rotation through the shoulders. All the movement is coming from these shoulders. Beautiful. Core is engaged, keeping those legs into tabletop, and we're using our breath. Exhale, sweep the arms back in to help us with that core engagement. Lovely. This is really nice, Jamie. There's nothing to correct here. You're doing a very good job. Let's make this our last one. Beautiful. Lovely. Well done. Alright. We're going to go into a side arm series now. We're going to do external rotation. So I'm actually going to come this way. I'm going to go cross-legged. And I'm going to put a blue spring on. Our external rotation exercise is, as it sounds like, very good for external rotators in our shoulder. It's something that we don't use very often in day-to-day life, so it's really good to work on this and strengthen it because it's just all-round strengthening your shoulder and a healthy shoulder, great for tackling, injury prevention, throwing, all the things that you will be doing in AFL and all that lifting that you're doing on the boats as well. So, all we're going to do, our knuckles are facing forwards. I'll just demo this now. To take a seat on the reformer cross-legged if you can, if that's comfortable, or if not, we can do a kneel. That's perfect. Lovely. So your left hand's going to take this, and knuckles are going to be pointing forwards. Perfect. And we're at our midline situate here. Sorry, that's perfect. Quick body scan. Ribs are stacked over our hips. Neck is long. Crown of head reaching. Soft peach under your neck. Beautiful. Open through the collarbones. Now this movement is from the shoulder. We're going to keep our upper arm nice and tucked in. It shouldn't be touching. It's not glued to the body, but it's tucked in there. And all we're going to do is straighten the elbow, come across the midline, and return to the midline. We can exhale to pull out, and inhale to return. Beautiful. How's that feeling, Jamie?
Yeah, good.
Good. Lovely. You did a really good job staying nice and long through the spine. Core is engaged, stabilising you and letting you not wiggle all over the place, so that's great. I can see that that's a really good spring for you. Just keeping that upper arm close to the body and the elbow is moving. Yes, perfect. That's it. Lovely. Good job. Lovely work. Let's do 2 more. It doesn't take long for this exercise to really burn. Like I said, it's something that we don't do day to day. Alright, let's leave it there. We're going to stay with the side arm series. I'll just demo this. So again, side arm series, single arm work, always important on the field. This time, this one's called spine twist. We're staying with blue spring here. This is really good for our core and our shoulders. Our obliques are definitely working in this exercise, and it's a really nice exercise for our spine. So as you expressed in your goals, you wanted some spinal mobility. This is doing that alongside shoulders and a lot of our oblique core work. So I will demonstrate this. We're just going to do a half range spine twist, okay? nice and stacked, ribs stacked over our hips. Pushing those ribs, yeah, perfect. Nice and open through the collarbone, beautiful. I'll get you to take the short strap here. And we're going to imagine we're hugging a tree. We inhale to prepare, we exhale, and we keep our hips nice and square to the front, and we twist that trunk. Perfect. And inhale to bring back. Beautiful. Let's do that again. Beautiful work there. We're keeping that nice space between our shoulders, keeping our shoulders as relaxed as they can. Our ribs are staying over our hips. You're doing such a good job with the length of the neck. That's beautiful. We're using those obliques to bring it round, and the half range is a lot harder than the full range. You're not really getting this rest here, so it's really working our core. Beautiful work. That's amazing, Jamie. We'll do 2 more. Perfect. And we'll drop that strap. Perfect. We're going to give our upper body a little bit of a rest now, and we're going into a standing thigh series. We're going to do a carriage leg press, and I'm just going to bring this down. This is going to really work our lower body. We're going to be on a yellow spring, so it's nice and light. So this is going to really work our inner thighs, our glutes. So just be really careful when you're standing up on here. We're going to stand nice tall, and then we're going to bend into this leg, the platform leg, and return. We're trying to stay nice and tall. Feeling that glute switch on and the quad. And standing back off. I'll just take these off 1 second, Jamie, so they don't make noise. Alright, so yeah, just careful on. This is, like we've talked about, so good for our glutes, picking ability, inner thigh work. We haven't done a lot of inner thigh work today, so we'll get all the limb work done. From here, we're standing nice and tall, ribs stacked over hips, knees and feet parallel, perfect, and knees feet under knees. We're going to bending the left knee, staying as tall as we can, crown reaching. If you can't stay as really upright, you can have a little hinge, but we're going to bend into that left leg as we push the carriage out. Perfect. And then squeeze the bring back in. Lovely. That's great. Amazing work there. Perfect. Feeling that left glute switch on straight away. Are you feeling it anywhere else, Jamie?
Quads and glutes.
Perfect.
And then when I go out,
Inner thigh. Lovely.
now, when
Yes.
I've got to bring it back in.
That's exactly what we want. So we're getting a really good workout here on our lower limbs, and this is going to be so good for you on the field. It's also opening that hip out, which is really good. Lovely work. You're staying really nice and long through the back of the neck and spine. Keeping those hips lovely and parallel, facing forwards. Imagine those little headlights on again, and you're bending into that knee, that left knee. Perfect. We might make that our last one there, Jamie, and we will just jump off the back one. Thank you. Perfect. We're going to move on to the scooter now. Again, the scooter is for our lower leg. Our legs, and it's really good for our single leg work. Obviously, you've got a lot of single leg kicking in AFL, so it's really good for that. We're going to put a blue and yellow on, and I'll just demo this. This is a lighter spring, so it's going to work our right glute a lot more. We're not really focusing on the heavy swing. The lighter is more on stability, which is so important on our AFL training. So we're going to put our left hand onto our foot bar and our left foot back into the shoulder. We're going to come into a quarter squat with our right leg. Perfect. And your knee is off the carriage, which is exactly what we want. put that hand just on our lower back so we can just make sure we've got that neutral spine, shoulders are away from ears, perfect. And our hips are staying nice and square to the front, and we're just simply going to extend that left leg, pushing out, and return with control, perfect. Your right glute will feel warm straight away, doesn't take long for this to happen. And we're breathing through it. We exhale to push out, inhale to come back in. Perfect. Perfect. You've got lovely length in the spine and neck here. Just imagine that soft beach under the chin. Perfect. Doing a great job. And your toes and knees are tracking in line, which is exactly what we want. Make this your last one, Jamie. Great job. Well done. We're going to move into a cool down now. Well done. We're going to go into feet in straps. And we're going to do some leg circles here. Just put our straps back on. Perfect. And we're going to stay on the blue and yellow for this, actually. And we're going to take a lay down on. Now the cool down, obviously it's just to cool us down, but the leg in straps, feet in straps, is great for our core still. We're still engaged in our core even though we're cooling down. And it's a lovely stretch for our hips as well, the legs. One, just, oh, that's alright, love it. I'll just demo this. Feel really nice after that inner thigh work. Just take a seat, up the head and the headrest, and then you can just push out from your feet, and that will help you get into these long loops now, just over the arches of your feet. Perfect. There we go. Alright, from here we'll just leave those in tabletop, just to make sure we've done this a lot throughout the session. We've got that little space in our lower back, ribs are melting, core engaged, space between our neck for a soft beach, and space between our shoulders and ears. Imagine those little balloons there, just keeping them away. Perfect. From here, let's extend our legs to 45. Perfect. And then we're going to come up to the ceiling. And we're going to open the legs and just come in as far as you can come out while you maintain that lovely posture. So you have a really good range here, so that's beautiful. You can just come as far as you like, where you feel you're still getting the stretch, but you're keeping that little space in your lower back, your core is engaged, your ribs aren't flaring up and melting, but you have a lovely range here, so just enjoy this cool down as it is. Beautiful. Your neck is lovely and long. I can see that your core is engaged and you've got that space. You're doing a fabulous job. Perfect. Let's make this our last one. Well done, Jamie. I hope you enjoyed this session, Jamie. You did so well, and I hope your body feels beautiful.
Thank you. Yeah, I feel like I learned heaps that will be very beneficial for my
Great.
sporting.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a lovely day.